Well, today I want to talk about going over chords in the key of G, or in the G shape, as a lot of times I refer to it on guitar, because we can use the capo and move these chords all around and be different keys. But these chords are the most simplified chords in the key of G. None of these, except for maybe one, would you find like in a book. If you say, hey, this is how I want to play this chord, this won't be the first option they teach you, but this is definitely the easiest option. For where we are today with our worship stuff, these chords will work for basically every single song we do. Now they start to kind of fall apart as you get further out of worship, so they'll also work in country kind of stuff. When you get to hymns, they don't really work for hymns. They can, but they're not the best option, and we'll learn more options later. But these chords are a really great starter pack. So these are the chords in the key of G. The first one is going to be this chord. This is called a G5. You can use this anywhere there's a G chord, so you can just remember this as G. And here's how it's going to be. Our middle finger is going to be on the 3rd fret, 1, 2, 3, right here. And then with that finger, you can actually be a little lazy with it, and it's going to mute the A string just by hanging down. We don't have to do anything crazy. It usually just does that on its own. And then what's going to happen is we're going to take this ring finger and this pinky, and we're going to put it on the 3rd fret of the B string and the E string. So pinky will go on the E, and then your ring will go on the B string 3rd fret, and then our middle finger will go here. Our pointer is doing nothing, and that's the G5 chord. Sounds like this. It's a great first chord. You can just remember that as G. You can use this anywhere you see a G chord, and it will be great. Now let me show you the next chord. The next chord we're going to learn is a C chord. And once again, if you look up C in a guitar book or look it online, this is not the C chord they're going to teach you, but this is a C chord that a lot of worship leaders use. It's all over the worship world right now, and it works for like basically everything we do. And here's what it is. You ready? Don't miss this. Take your middle finger, slide it down a string. That's it. This is the C chord. Now with this, there's one extra part. We're going to take our thumb and we're going to hang it over the top and just barely touch this E string. We're not playing it, we're just touching it. And what that's going to do is that's going to clean up the sound. So if I play this E, you hear I get this like little thunk sound. That's what we want. We don't want to actually hear like a note or fretting or anything like that, but just a little thunk, and that's going to mute it. So this one would be, if you were to look at a chart, it would be X3, and then for this, for the D string, you can mute it the same way we did with the G, where the finger's just hanging over. That's the 3rd string down. Or you can really arch it. It's kind of hard to do that and let it ring. It can ring on this one and sound good, but I just mute it typically. And then you have an open string, then 3rd fret, 3rd fret. So quick recap, doing it the same way, it'd be 3, 3 on the E and B string. And then this time we're going to go to the A string with our middle finger instead of the E string. And then we strum them all. That's a C chord. Sounds nice. This chord is really a C2. Once again, you can just remember it as a C. You can use this chord anywhere in any song, any genre where you see a C chord. It works. The thumb is kind of the tricky part with this. A lot of people don't think about that. They look it up in a book and they see this C chord. And then they try to not touch the top string with the pick. I tried that for like a year when I first started playing guitar. It's really hard to avoid that. And what people do is they don't actually do that. They just mute it and they play all 6 strings. And that's going to go for every chord we play. You will actually just strum all 6. And if it's not supposed to be ringing, we'll mute it. And that's how we'll deal with it. So this is C. Next, we're going to do D. And this is a D sus chord. Once again, in worship, this is what gets played often. This one, as we talk about a little bit of music theory, the D sus is not, you can't use that everywhere. In the key of G, you can use a D sus anywhere you see a D, and that works. In other keys, there's some rules. So if you're in the key of G, you can use this chord. And it goes like this. So we're going to actually keep these 2 fingers rolling. We're on a roll with them already. We'll keep it going. We're going to put our pointer finger on the 2nd fret of the G string, which is right here. And like our C chord, we're going to mute with our thumb, just the top string, and we're going to strum all 6. This is D sus. So recap, you can use this chord anywhere you have a D chord in the key of G only. So take a look here. It's going to be 3, 3, 2, and then the mute. And you play all 6. but the only ones that are ringing are not the first one, but the next 5. And that is a D sus. The last chord out of the shape that we're going to check out right now is E minor. And how we're going to play this, there's several ways to play this. And once again, this is not the first pick out of the book. And this one's probably the hardest of these, but it's a good way to learn it. You can still leave these 2 fingers here, which is pretty slick. And we're going to put our pointer finger and our middle finger on the 2nd and 3rd string, 2nd fret. So it'd be 0, 2, 2, 0, 3, 3. That's how we build this chord. This is technically an E minor 7 chord. Anywhere you see E minor, you can use this chord. And that's what it sounds like. It's tough because it's using all 4 fingers, but you'll get used to it. Ring finger, 3rd fret, sorry, pinky, 3rd fret, ring finger, 3rd fret, and then your pointer is going to go 2nd fret, 2nd string. Middle finger is going to go 2nd fret, 3rd string. That's what it looks like. So from the top to the bottom, counting the frets, 0, 2, 2, 0, 3, 3. And that's E minor. So quick recap. You got G, C, D sus, E minor. If you say the chord without major or minor, it's assumed that it's major. If it's minor, you have to call it a minor chord. So you can go as G, C, D, E minor.